Hi guys, this is Ine and welcome back to Drawing and Discovering Dinosaurs. Today we are going to be drawing our T dinosaur, which is going to be something unexpected, but still it's probably going to be a familiar name to anybody who loves dinosaurs. So let's get started. Our T dinosaur today is not T-Rex or Triceratops. Actually, we have a new dinosaur that we've not really talked about before. So this is going to be Troodon, which is famous for being the world's smartest dinosaur. And this is true. It's intelligent, so it's probably comparable to that of, say, a crow, which is by animal standards that's actually quite intelligent, because crows, ravens, and magpies, they form one family, and they can communicate in a sort of way. They can recognize faces and also use tools and solve simple problems, which is something that most animals do not have the ability to do. So we think that Troodon may have been able to do all of this. Troodon was a carnivorous dinosaur. It was extremely bird-like. We think that the Troodontids, which were dinosaurs closely related to Troodon, they were like very close to birds, like the closest thing to a bird that we really wouldn't consider a bird. So yeah, they were extremely bird-like, and they were probably covered in fluff. So, unlike the small predators, we're going to make them look really cute and fluffy. Alright, so Troodon was very similar to the raptors, like the Dinosaurs, but Troodontids in general were quite different. They were, first of all, they were much smaller than Dinosaurs were, and they were, like, some of them got big, but they were all much more thinner and more slender than most dromaeosaurs. They also had long legs and long necks, which show that they were probably more closely related to the ornithomimosaurs, like Gallimimus, instead of raptors. An interesting thing for all Troodontids is that they also had the sickle claw, which in the dromaeosaurs did, but it was kind of different. First of all, it was not as recurved or big as the dromaeosaurs had, so it was not very, like, particularly useful, but it was still a formidable weapon. In some cases, it actually wasn't used at all. So all Troodontids lived in, like, the late Cretaceous period. In North America and Asia. Troodon itself lived in North America, specifically in the states of Montana and Alaska. Back in the day, there were a lot of findings attributed to Troodon. Now, we're not really sure that all those belong to Troodon, so there's been a lot of debate on whether Troodon is a valid species, but as for now, we think that it has a good place in the scientific tree of life. Something very interesting to note is that the two species of Troodon that lived in Alaska and Montana differed greatly in size. I mean, normally species from the same genus usually differ in size, coloration, etc., but Troodon had too much of a big difference to be left unnoticed. So the reason for this big size difference, to illustrate normal Troodon that inhabited Montana, and possibly the rest of North America as well. I mean, not North America, but probably the rest of the U.S. Was like about the size of a turkey, whereas Troodon that lived in Alaska were about as tall as humans and were much more robustly built. They actually looked more like raptors than troodontids, but they're still Troodon. Now, the reason for this is that in the time that Troodon lived, which was the late Cretaceous North America, mostly the mainland US and Canada, was infested with Tyrannosaurs, and there was T-Rex, Albertosaurus, Daspletosaurus, and Gorgosaurus. However, in the Arctic, especially in like Alaska, there were not a lot of Tyrannosaurs, mostly because the largest prey there were hadrosaurs, but they were kind of small hadrosaurs. There weren't a lot of them. Also, Alaska is a cold place, so so basically there's no food there, so there can only be small creatures. However, by small, that means a medium size and smaller than Tyrannosaurs. So the only Tyrannosaur that ever inhabited the Arctic Circle was Gorgosaurus, which was very small. So when Troodon came up to Alaska, it had an opportunity to grow bigger because it could become the main predator because there were no other main predators that it had to compete with. So basically, that's why the two species of Troodon have so much of a size difference. Troodontids, I should say, are also known for their large skulls and generally gigantic eyes, as you can probably see right here. This indicates that they were probably nocturnal, and because the reason is nocturnal animals need large eyes to take in all of that light. Alright, so, yeah. Troodon is the world's smartest dinosaur as of now. And I'm gonna color in our guy because we have no more information really that I think we need to cover. So yeah, I'm gonna color our dinosaur in with these stripes. Okay, so coloring in the belly and the legs. Alright, so almost done with the tail. And we had a bit of overlap here, so I'm just gonna fix that. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna use this more kind of darker brownish color to kind of shade in. also gonna color in the stripes on the back with these kind of splashes of brown. And I'm gonna do that on the wing and the legs too. And also on the tail with splotches of orangish brown. And on the crest here too. Alright. Another interesting fact, like trivia, is that Troodon appears in like the Jurassic World games, where it's always portrayed as being venomous, but we actually don't have any evidence that it was venomous. It was probably not venomous at all. And I'm just using some gray for shading. And we're gonna make it a bit more colorful here, just pretty soon. Alright, so we have this kind of base coloring. Let's see. I'm gonna get my dark blue and kind of color in all the white spaces on the tail feathers and the wing, not the wing, the head crest. Next, I'm going to take out an icy blue color and do the same for the wings and the stripes. Okay, and almost done. Alright. Now I have this kind of cyan color that I'm going to also add in. I'll kind of splotch it in on the stripes as well. Now with the brown, it's going to appear kind of like a more dark greenish color. Alright, so there. Okay, now here's the interesting part where this actually gets colorful. So for the scales, I'm going to go over with ice blue stripes, which gives it a nice light greenish color. And I'm not going to fill it in completely. Just go over with horizontal and vertical stripes on the snout and the arms and legs. Alright, so we have a kind of green and yellow stripes. Now on the yellow, I'm going to get our aqua here and fill in to get a more bluish green color. Alright, so here we go. Now for the stripes, I think that, let's see here. I'm going to go over the stripes with a coat of dark orange, so that the blue doesn't like really show off against the brown, because this is kind of like a camouflage modeling, sort of like jaguars and most predators have, and most animals have like this kind of modeled pattern. Alright, so anyway, let's let's see, what do we have left to do? I'm gonna do a bit more shading with gray. Alright, now. Okay, so that's it for today, I think. Actually, let's just shade the claws a little bit. Alright, now that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!